Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you how to find a woman like that. Now, what am I talking about? So, in this caption, it talks about the fact that Denzel Washington, on the first date with his wife, with the woman who would become his wife, they're going on their date and he runs out of money. She pays for the cab fare in order for them to complete the date. And here they are, 40 some odd years, 41 years later, happily married, and we all know the history. We know what Denzel has done in his life. His wife has always stayed out of the limelight. They've never been divorced. You never see them in the tabloids. Well, damn, I just dated myself. But you never see them on TMZ in some negative romantic things, right? How did this happen? And I know a lot of men are going to say that there aren't women out there like that anymore. That if you're out here and you're dating a young lady and you don't have enough money, oh, she's not paying for half the cab fare. These women only want your money. And there are a lot of women who say that if you can't pay for the whole date, they're not going. They're not participating with you. They're not dealing with potential. We don't do that. You'll hear a lot of that. But I'm going to tell you how to be able to discern whether or not a woman is like this. And it's very simple. And you're going to say it's a little bit too simple. But oftentimes, the very straightforward, simple thing is the right answer. And I've tested this out myself and I've done it myself. It's called honesty. It's called honesty and being upfront. So so for most of you who do not know, I was originally married at 19 years old. Was in that marriage for 17 years. And then when I got divorced, I was dating for the first time at 37 years old. I had no idea what dating was like. So I've made a lot of mistakes. I've spent tons of money. I've given my time to people who did not deserve it. But one thing that happened that was a blessing. When the housing market crashed in 2010 and the bubble had busted in IT, my gym, I had to close my gym. I sold my gym, closed my gym, sold it off in pieces. And for the next 2 years before I started a new business, I didn't have that much money to date. So I was very honest. I would tell a young lady who wanted to go out on a date, this is all that I could afford, because I budgeted my money in such a way that this was my play money. Only 10% of what I earned went for play money. So dates had to be within my play money amount. So I would tell a young lady, if we went out on a date and it's a first date, I had learned to not overspend on the first date in the first place. But if we were dating for a second, went on a second date, third date, fourth date, or if they suggested a place, I would tell them up front, you want to go Cheesecake Factory? Can't go Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, that's outside of my budget. Oh, then they get mad. You ain't ready to date. You shouldn't be dating nobody if you can't afford to go to Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. Only allowing 10% of my income to be for dating, for play, that was outside of my budget, because I had to make sure I still had a roof over my head. I had to make sure that I still was investing money so that I can open up this next business. I still was putting money into savings. So 10% was all that was going. And there were a lot of women who could not understand that. For them, it was because I'm trying to date them, I should be willing to break into my savings, break into my investment account, spend some money out of the short-term savings account. It wasn't happening. But then there came one, who is my wife now, that when I said that, well, I would love to do this. I would love to take you on this particular date because I know that you would enjoy it, but it's outside my budget. So what we could do is this over here. And when she said, I'll take care of the dinner part if you handle the rest. That's the kind of woman. It's that honesty that they can look, that you can tell them exactly what it is and stick to your guns, and then you go by that. You stick by it. And the ones who say no or push you away or think that you're being cheap or think you're less than a man or whatever it is, those are the ones you walk away from. Those are the ones you tell them to keep pushing. Sometimes uh, you may think that you can change her, but you can't. So don't even try. If she can't recognize that you're being honest up front, you have a plan, you stick to your decisions, you are making good decisions, you're not trying to put yourself in a financial bind. A woman who recognizes that a man is not trying to put himself into a financial bind is not going to put you as a lady in a financial bind. You should recognize that character trait instead of saying he's broke, he's cheap, or whatever it is. However the situation goes. I know their situation is different, but for the majority, if you just be open, just be honest, and the right one will come. And ladies, you have to be able to recognize when a man is telling you why he's not spending money on certain things, recognize that he's planning for a future. He got goals and he achieved those goals. Is that not what you want? To make sure that everything is going to run as smoothly as they possibly can, and that when there are hiccups, you got somebody who has good problem solving abilities. That's what you look for. That's what I did not have in my first marriage. I didn't have good problem solving abilities. So I had to learn them the hard way because I started so young. But I love to hear you guys' comments. Share, like, subscribe. And don't forget, we're going live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. Good. So always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. My wife walked out here and just threw me off. Good journey, good vibration.